Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for having me here. As you notice here at this slide, I'm not standing here first as the president of the European Industrial Hemp Association, but on behalf of my company, Hemp Consult. But obviously, we do collaborate and work together, exchanging data. First of all, let me thank also to world-class business leaders for bringing up a wonderful conference after kind of a lockdown all over the world, and it's great to be live again. Thank you. The main issue and the main topic I will talk about are key markets, key indicators in the data for a growing economy. Although I will have a little bit of a whole planned approach, as we heard before, and not only about medical and recreational cannabis, but also about the other chances and opportunities that cannabis in its whole, as a whole approach, as industrial hemp can give to our markets. Shortly on the company Hemp Consult, what we are doing is that we are consulting, as the name implies, and we try to aim with our clients for the combination of ecology and economy for sustainable and economic growth. Well, definitely we charge for our services, same as tech consultants and lawyers do that. But trust me, I'm working in the hemp industry now for more than 25 years. And if I could turn back time, I'd rather pay for getting the know-how than to do everything by ourselves. To my person, as you can see here, again, I'm in the hemp business for quite a time. And some of my companies are mainly focused on the supply chain from field to the shelf. We are doing our own farming, own production, and obviously also our own trading. One of my companies, and I'm already happy for being here, part of this conference, do sell cannabis flows, the official name of the drug in Germany. And I'm sure I will find some good cooperation partners and suppliers, potential suppliers here. As a board member of the European Industrial Hemp Association, I'm working very closely with our experts in Europe. And in 2019, I have been elected to the president of our association, and I was re-elected last year. By the way, this is brand new information, which is not even has made it to our slide. Last week, we officially started the FIO, the Federation of International Hemp Organizations. I'm elected vice president, interim vice president, and my dear fellow and friend Ted Haney from the CHDA, from the Canadian Hemp Trade Alliance, is my president. And we will be very happy to bring up industrial hemp and cannabis now on the worldwide level, working with the international and national authorities. Here you can see already the new logo of FIO and of course EIHA. And 4 of my companies we recently sold to Symbiotic, the biggest holding of cannabis-related businesses in the Central Europe. And this is also the data exchange network that we created in the last, let's say, 10, 15 years. Very important partners from all around the world to have access to the information, because information and data is what really helps to improve markets. Some of the research and studies where either me or my companies have worked on, you can see here. And as you see on top, one of the most important papers that we got out was the common position of industrial hemp sector on the Singer Convention, because that is basically the paper from 1961, the Singer Convention, that got us in all the trouble and that blocked our businesses for at least 40 years. And by the way, also very brand new news from Europe. I don't know whether you're familiar with the THC max levels on hemp food. That was not my mistake, I swear. The THC max levels in food have been pretty much blocking our business in the regular hemp food stuff area. Maybe you know that in Canada and US, there's 10 ppm as the max level for THC in the hemp seed oil, in protein powder, in dehulled hemp seeds. We didn't have any such maximum level in Europe. The German ones, the German guidance values were far too low at 5 ppm, and German authorities are not really good to work with guidance values. Germans are very strict. When they see a number, they have to have this number, not more. So we were very happy that the EU Commission now finally decided, well, actually they don't decided, but they implemented the decision of the PAF committee for 7.5 ppm for oil with a measurement uncertainty of 40 to 50%. So with this measurement uncertainty included, you're basically at the same level as the Canadians have been since the last 20 years. This is for the hemp seed oil, and it's 3 ppm plus measurement uncertainty for the dry food. Very important for the European hemp industry. What we also do is we check the trends. You can see trends like online, like those, and the trend for hemp look very positive. And then there's also another very interesting observation that we try to focus on about publications. As we already learned this morning, there are a lot of publications going on when it comes to hemp and cannabis. And basically by looking at the numbers of publications, you can see the interest of the scientific area, the scientific world, to look at our topics, but also, of course, what is scientifically relevant is also relevant for business. Here you can see hemp seeds and hemp oil, although in this chart, definitely there will be CBD oil included. And here's the cannabidiol itself. Hemp cultivation, now we are talking about industrial hemp, this is not the cannabis part, is growing worldwide, and I'm very sorry that those numbers are quite old, maybe even outdated, because we always have to gather the hectares, the number of hectares, a year or 2 years after. But you can see that it's quite tremendous what has been reached in the last 10, 15 years. Very important for the food sector, the pricing. This is all based on a full container load, ex-work, Rotterdam, cleaned for 99.5%. You can use that for dehulling and for pressing oil immediately. So what you see here is if you bring it all down to US dollar price, all these prices from different origins come together basically on one level. Even for the first time, you can see for various reasons that European hemp seed has the same price as Chinese hemp seed based on Rotterdam, which is very important for our industry sector. Not only because now the European hemp sector is competitive with the Chinese because of high container freight costs and so on, but also because the price level are so similar, you can actually plan with these prices. Because for a lot of business, it was almost impossible to plan with prices as long as you have hiccups all the way from one harvest to another harvest. So in general, the turnover of the hemp foodstuff and corresponding raw materials is increasing strongly worldwide. And we can see all over the world that hemp seeds, hulled hemp seeds, hemp oil, hemp protein powder, and hemp leaves are becoming more presentable, both in retail as well as in the food industry. This is what I already showed to you before. We have those maximum levels now, 3 for dry food and 7.5 for hemp seed oil. Obviously, EIHA asked for more, but if you compare it with the Canadian max levels that are out there for years, and if you add the measurement uncertainty on top of the EU Commission proposal, we are set. Well, I think in this room, I don't have to tell you about the future perspectives for hemp products in general, but I would like to mention that there is a huge market next to the medical and recreational cannabis market, which is plant protein. When I came here to the hotel, basically my first meal was Beyond Meat cheeseburger, and I loved it. It tastes like the real one, and you don't have all this, well, let's say bad quality meat, the leftovers from the food industry in there, but you have some good plant protein that you chew on. And we already had this morning. It's all about homeostasis. And it actually is. It's all about homeostasis. Our whole body is working like this from the morning to the evening, and we notice it. And even during the night when we don't notice it, body is working, always trying to keep the homeostasis. And consumers all around the world are asking for products that keep this homeostasis, or that helps to balance it. And this also is not only about drugs and the medicine, but also about the food itself. Here's an example of one of the factories that we have in Europe with solar-powered machinery processing hemp seed food. And these are the different product lines and processing lines. You can see some of the most successful and biggest retail chains in Germany that have already, or Europe, Carrefour, for example, that have already hemp seed-derived products in their shelves. And here are some examples. Now, what is new for me since 5 years, 10 years, is that hemp companies and also cannabis companies made it to the stock exchange market. Obviously, we had definitely some successes there, and the last years, since beginning of 2019, stock prices have strongly declined. Well, some of the reasons are the regulatory issues. Authorities didn't work as fast as the industry. And then, of course, some numbers did not meet the forecast and the expectations. Also, we have the typical domino effect. If numbers are a little bit lower and people start to sell, especially the institutional traders start to sell, then, of course, the prices of the stocks can collapse. So if you look at this drama, almost in 2019, almost all cannabis companies did work well, a lot less good compared to the SIP level, 500. But throughout the years, you can see that still there is a lot of decline in those stock prices. On the other side, you can see that it's bouncing back. So after a while, of course, of those hiccups, the industry will show whether there is a potential and there is an increase in the stock prices again. And as a personal note, having started with the industrial hemp in 1995, inspired by the book of Jack Herer, The Emperor Wears No Clothes, I can tell you that at that time, yes, maybe I start to believe that cannabis can make it back and actually gets to become a medical product. Definitely, I hope for it. And it took 25 years, and we are there. more about market development. One of the reasons for the decline in the stock prices is, and a lot of issues that we had in the last 2 or 3 years in our industry, is the hyped CBD business and success story. All this theoretical demand was there, but was it really there? So a lot of cultivators and companies and investors poured on the market at the same time. In fact, the available volume of the biomass was not needed. So a lot of oversupply of biomass and downstream products were on the market, and we can still see the decline of prices for CBD isolate in the US. I still know when the first kilo cost $25,000. So, of course, there are ups and downs like this on every market. The hemp market and the cannabis market is nothing special. When it comes to markets all over the world, commodities, whatever, there always will be hiccups and ups and downs. In the long term, farmers and companies, and I think this is very important also for our friends here in Thailand, they have to prove themselves to the market. Best quality and service will always win. And for a stable development of the hemp industry, a certain legal framework and reliable economics policies must be established. Now I have the chance to give you a little bit of a very current update from Germany. As I'm sure you heard, that Germany changed its mind thanks to a new government. So what is new? First of all, we start in Europe. Because we have so many consumers, we are for sure a leading market for medical cannabis. There is a regulatory framework already in place. Of course, still here and there is a lack of clarity, but in generally, the EU GMP gives you everything you need to actually sell to the European market. And as I mentioned before, the 1961 Single Convention is out there, still out there, but Europe already started to work on this regulation, and there are the GACP and GMP frameworks out there to handle the issues. So now, what is new in Germany? You got a timeline here. When you look at the last 20, 25 years, a lot of things have changed. Since 2011, actually, the import of cannabis flowers is shown here. We're talking about kilos. Yeah, don't get excited. Don't order the new car yet. These are kilos, not tons. But we are getting there. And really new is that we are not only doing medical cannabis now. It is 99.9% sure. I mean, that's the only chance you have to think about politics, but it is definitely agreed again and confirmed that recreational cannabis will come to Germany. The new government, of course, now postponed the topic a little bit. Obviously, right now in Europe we have another very big topic, a very sad topic. There is war in Europe, and that's why all other policies are delayed for a certain time. But for the medical part, the regulatory framework is clear. You need the import certificate. You have to have GMP, and you have to have, if you want to import from a third country that has the MRA, the Mutual Recognition Agreement, everything is basically set. If not, you have to have the inspection of the foreign manufacturing site by the German authority. And trust me, one of my companies is working in this sector. It is quite a hassle, obviously, yes, but it's possible. The paperwork is there, the regulatory the framework is there, and it's definitely achievable. Well, obviously, not only all over the world, but also in Germany, we have the big topic of CBD, or hemp-derived food supplements. And there also has been a big change. In 2021, the Federal Court of Justice, you can see the building here, they actually made a very important court rule that the sale to end consumers of hemp flowers and leaves is not prohibited automatically. The distribution to end consumers and the possession of the unprocessed hemp products does not automatically fall under narcotic law, which is groundbreaking. That was different before. And obviously we have the basic of free movement of goods in Europe. So right now there are court cases going on. My company is doing 2 of those against the federal government in Germany, because flowers and leaves are marketable in Luxembourg, Belgium, and Austria. And if they are marketable there, they have to be marketable in Germany. So we are just looking forward to win those cases. Obviously, the misuse of industrial hemp is impossible, and that is a major argument in those court cases, because it has already been decided a long time ago, 20 years ago, by the authorities, when they changed the first time, when they changed the narcotic law in Germany for the first time, and it seems that some of the authorities have just forgotten this decision already. So thank you for your attention, and thanks again to Christian and his team.